Welcome everybody to World of Tanks subscriber replays. My name is Maxwell and today's first video is from the user JLH79. That is JLH79 and he's driving the Jagdpanther 2 on an encounter battle on Himmelsdorf. Jagdpanther 2 being a tier 8 tank destroyer for the Germans. So straight away he's going to be heading to the banana line. And this one is a little bit slow to get started, so that will give me an opportunity to apologise for my recent absence. Those of you who follow me on Twitter or the live streams will know that I very recently moved house. So that has taken up quite a lot of time. Incidentally, if you do want to keep up to date with goings on, the best idea is to follow me on Twitter. You can find that in the description below this video. So not only have I been moving house though, but I figured out what my World of Tanks crashing problems were. It was my CPU overheating. So been waiting for a new CPU cooler to arrive before I can make any more content. But with this video going out now, this marks the return of regular videos. Don't worry, I wasn't planning on going anywhere. Just had a very, very brief bit of time off for moving house and having a broken CPU cooler. So now that that is all sorted, content will resume as normal, which is a World of Tanks video at least every day, and then Minecraft and other content to fill in the gaps. So he had taken up a position on the banana road there on the number 8 line, but 7-8 line, but saw that nobody was really pushing down here. It looks like the majority of the enemy team is still up on this hill. Turning circle of the Jagdpanther 2, not very legendary. Also, climb speed not very good, so we're just going to turn this one up a little bit until he gets into the action. Finds an AFK Super Pershing. Although he's not sure if he's AFK to begin with. Thought he may have just been guarding the area, but no, he is indeed AFK. So just going to feast on some free experience here. You see already getting a nice bit of damage onto him. Unfortunately, just fires at the upper plate for some reason that time, and that one doesn't quite go through. And basically all he's going to do here is just feast on this guy's hit points and take him out. Unfortunately for him, though, he has been spotted doing this, so the SU-14-2 was waiting. Unfortunately, the 14-2 still fired way too early. Missed that one, unfortunately, and JLH was able to get a shot back and take him out. Now going to be trying to duel with this Hellcat. Hellcat trying to make a run for it. Fires a little bit too late there. A little bit unusual to take a shot in that situation. But I think he's done what he can from the rear. The enemy team has now pushed all the way over the top of the hill and is well on the other side. Hellcat is coming back, so JLH decides to drop back and cover off the other road. There is still a Hummel over there somewhere. Haven't seen him recently. Knows that the Hellcat's either going to be guarding the Hummel or is going to come flying past this road any second now. So just got to be finger on the trigger and be careful and wait for that one. Gets around the corner. Does see the Hellcat was trying to guard the Hummel there, but no, actually he wasn't. The Hellcat was on the left-hand side. That was a Hummel and an M12. Hellcat just doing his best to try and get the hell out of here. Really should have carried on running rather than trying to duel with the Jagdpanther 2 here. I'm starting to think that the M12 could be AFK or just really, really not situationally aware whatsoever, as he didn't lend any help whatsoever to his ally there as he was taken apart. JLH quickly picks up kill number 5. Only lost a few hit points to that Hellcat. Like I said, Hellcat should have carried on running there. Tried to live to fight another day, but instead tried to duel it out with the Jagdpanther 2 and paid the price for it. Ooh, one shot does land in the rear there from another low health Hellcat. Looks like the enemy team is spawning low health Hellcats. So JLH going to get around the corner to try and take him out, but it looks like the Hellcat's done the smart thing and taken that little right turn. Luckily JLH will have faded in the fog of war. Is laying in wait, takes him out and picks up kill number 6. This one was a little bit slow to get started, but then it's pretty fast and pretty furious. Allied team going for a base cap there, but Enemy team not going to allow that one to proceed. They do have an IS-3, a T-44 and a KV-1S in the location. GLH going to take the long route around and come at this one from the south. Going to see if he can get a hit on that KV-1S first. Doesn't look like it, but it looks like he may be able to get a nice shot on this IS-3. And indeed, he can get a great bit of damage through the armor of the IS-3. IS-3 finally wakes up, realizes that something is happening. GLH gets hit, but luckily he did a little cheeky side-scraping maneuver there as the IS-3 was about to fire, and that one just bounced on his tracks. All taken up there. One good shot. Nope, doesn't look like that one went through, which is a little bit unfortunate. Should have really put that one through the front plate of the IS-3 there with the massive, massive penetration that this gun has for a Tier 8 tank destroyer. If we take a very quick look at that, I'm pretty sure it's about 246mm of penetration. Indeed it is. IS-3 doing his best to just hunker down here. The Hellcat doesn't want to be the first one in because he'll get destroyed. Oh, very unfortunate to hit the wrong front plate of the IS-3, and this IS-3 finally gets some damage back onto GLH. Hellcat uses this opportunity to move in, considering that the IS-3 has fired, although the Hellcat plants that one into the rubble rather than the IS-3's armor. GLH taking a wide berth here, takes another big hit from that IS-3, but he should be able to finish him off, and indeed he does, and that's kill number 7, and that just leaves this KV-1S, who has now fired. Still got to play this one carefully though, because if KV-1S gets an opportunity, he will be able to take out GLH in his Jagdpanther 2. Trying to get a shot through the train cars here. Doesn't look like he can find anything, so he's going to have to take the long route around, unfortunately. But doesn't look like there's anybody else here to threaten apart from that Hellcat. Looks like GLH may get this one. Indeed he does. That is a well-deserved Radley Walters medal. 3,500 points of damage, and the Allied team still stubbornly trying to complete that base capture, even though there was only 2 tanks left. So absolutely awesome replay there from GLH79 driving the Jagdpanther 2. Thank you very much for sending that one in. Don't forget to stick around, because as always, the score screens and another game are coming right up. And our second replay of the day is from the user DOTX. That is DOTX, and he's driving the WZ111 Model 1-4 on a standard battle on Pearl River. And the WZ111 1-4, that is a lot of ones. I think from now on we'll just call it WZ, but it is a Tier 9 heavy tank for the Chinese. So DOT going to be heading to the north of the map on this right-hand flank. You can see most of the team heading into that central position, and a few others heading into this northern location. That's a good split of tanks. Although they do seem to be committing a few too many forces to that central location. And as you can see, absolutely nobody gone to the south of the map there to cover off that approach, which may bite them in the ass later on. We shall see. DOT realizing that there's more than enough tanks in this area to take this road, so he's going to move up along here and maybe try and get some flanking action on the go against some of the tanks in this location. Realizing that he's not really going to be needed on that right hand side in the north. But because this central road area is quite a severe choke point, they're going to have to win this battle as quickly as possible in an effort to get back and defend the base. Hopefully, the enemy team makes a cautious approach along there, and that would mean that the Allies would have enough time to get back should something go wrong. Spots out a T-54E1 here. Looks like he may actually be reloading, as he hasn't unleashed a shot as of yet. So may have caught him completely by surprise there. Did have one shot,
But DOT just says, nope, not today, and takes him out. Looks like nobody really in the centre here is very situationally aware. None of them realised that that T-54E1 did just get taken out by a WZ. And they have all just neglected this side here as if they're wearing tunnel vision blinkers. So DOT was able to get a lovely bit of damage through the side of that E75. Is able to do exactly the same thing to Tortoise, because again he had no idea what was actually happening in the battle, and it looks like this T30 also not really aware of what's going on. Very unfortunate there to land on the very top of the T30's turret. Not quite able to get a damaging shot onto him, but again just totally neglecting this side of the battlefield. Does got to have realised that there's somebody behind him now as he takes a huge hit through his rear armour. Now he's finally swinging his gun onto target, but it looks like this enemy team can only really think about one thing at once, because while he's got his gun fully pointed at DOT here, a T-34 just approaches him from the front and takes him out. Unfortunately for the T-34, he did take a shot from the E75 for his trouble. And DOT's not able to hang around and try and take out that E75, as you did hear the air raid siren go off to indicate that the base was being captured. Excuse me. So DOT's going to make a move to drop back and see who he can find. There is an E50 threatening from the rear now, so DOT decides that he's going to go and help out here, as there is an IS getting sandwiched by that E75 and the E50. If he can get up behind this E50, he can do some significant damage. Does get a beautiful shot through the rear of that E50 there to get a nice chunk of damage. That IS also gets a great bit of damage in return. Also onto the E50, who's just lost about 1,000 of his hit points there. Can he land another one just on the top? No, he can't. You could only see the very top of the E50's turret, and he was moving at some speed there. IS did get taken out by the E75. Type 59 has turned up now, but decides to shoot the corpse that is in front of DOT, and DOT just using the mass of his heavy tank to block off either side here to stop either of these tanks getting through and getting past him. He does get immobilized here, doesn't want to use his repair kit just in case he needs it later on. That E50 has now gotten through, but he refused to take his gun off target of that Type 59, as that Type 59 was a one-shot, and it's always best to get a gun out of the battle as quickly as possible. Not going to let up on this E50 here, although the E50 has immobilized him, but luckily an AMX 1390 has come in for the equalization, and he is able to get the kill on the E50 and take him out. So really nice piece of play there, blocking off the medium tanks from getting around beside him, and also keeping his gun trained on the Type 59 there, so that the Type 59 wasn't going to survive. Always best to get as many tanks out of the battle as quickly as possible. Always in a one-on-one situation like that, well, it was a 2v1 situation like that, always best to get one of those tanks out of the equation as quickly as possible. Got a nice hit on this Object 704. It's going to rock forwards and backwards. Going to try and lure that Object 704 into firing. Does this tank have much of a gun mantle? It does a little bit. So we're going to try and lure the Object 704 into fire. It looks like the Object 704's turned to look at the AMX 1390. Unfortunately, the weird sloping of this Object 704 means that shot has bounced now. The Object 704 is advancing forwards. Long reload of the gun of the WZ. Not quite able to take advantage of the full side armor of the object as it was coming forwards. And that one, unfortunately, was a 0 damage critical. The AMX 1390 has now decided to advance. I'm not really sure where the Object 704 was going. He could see that AMX 1390 coming in from his left-hand side, but decided to turn to his right-hand side for some reason. A little bit mystified by that one. He should get taken out by the AMX now, and indeed he does. Enemy AMX 1390 landed a shot onto his ammo rack. Did take a snapshot, because that's all he had as the AMX 1390 was backing off. Unfortunately, that one missed. He did use his repair kit to now fix his ammo rack. If he'd used that earlier in the duel with the E50 and the Type 59, he would have now had to contend with an even longer reloads. Looks like he is able to get away with that one. Going to now come across and try and help out his fellow IS-8. Well, not fellow, but his allied IS-8. In a one-on-one duel in close quarters like that, an AMX 1390 is probably going to have the best of that situation, using his speed, his agility, and his small stature to just run rings around that IS-8. But will he be in time? Zooms in way too early there, and the IS-8 gets taken out. Luckily, he does still finally able to get the kill on the AMX 1390. A T-34-2 has now turned up. He's able to put a huge shot through the front of the WZ here, but he is going to be a one-shot as he falls back. He's well aware of it, and he's playing very cagey. Doesn't quite have the gun depression, but the T-34-2 did present his commander's hatch, and DOT is able to take him out to pick up kill number 5 now. The MX 1390 has found the Waffenträger. He is still in and around the enemy base, covering off that one. He did get taken out. Now DOT is going to try and get into position. So it's now himself versus a Waffenträger and a Batchat artillery. He has one shot at the last known position of the Batchat and then decides to drop back out of this location. Doesn't want to try assaulting into the enemy base. As you can see, they've clearly got it covered. The Waffenträger Panzer IV is in a very high commanding position and is able to oversee the whole of the enemy cap circle there. So if DOT did try to attack into that, oh, finds the Batchat. What a stroke of luck. Takes him out, and that is kill number 6. But as I was saying, if he did decide to assault into the enemy base there, he would have been taken out by that Waffenträger. And that looks like a nice little fake out by DOT there. Obviously, he was spotted because of that Batchat there, but then made it look like he was going to drive up along that road. Then when his camo kicks back in, spun all the way around and is going to take the lower road instead. It's only really going to come into effect if the Waffenträger has some allies that were watching the Batchat and can inform them of his maneuvers. Has the HE, the high explosive shells, loaded. Going to try and put one through the gun shield of the Waffenträger and do some extreme damage. As you can see, that high explosive does 640 points of damage if it gets a penetration. Although, unfortunately, if you can see there, the Waffenträger was last spotted with 1,340 hit points, and himself only has 96. So, any hit from the Waffenträger is going to destroy DOT and his WZ, and he's going to have to land at least 2 high-rolled shots of high explosive shells here to be able to take out the Waffenträger. 3 shots if he doesn't roll high. Did get spotted as he went past his own base there, so we can almost assume that the Waffenträger... There we go, he's gone in for a cap for some reason. It looks like he's decided to try and charge him down. Only has 867 hit points left, so the AMX 1390 must have shaved some of those off. He's still going to require 2 shots though, but he doesn't have to roll high rolls. He can just get average rolls to be able to do this damage. Gets 1 good hit, sets him on fire, but unfortunately he has got an automatic fire extinguisher. The Waffenträger fired his shot and only takes out the tracks. It looks like DOT may have the reload on this one. He doesn't, but the Waffenträger fires, fluffs his shot, and it bounces on the side of the turret, and DOTX is able to take his shot, take him out, win the game for his team. 7 kills, 7,000 points of damage, and the victory. So absolutely awesome replay there from DOTX, showing his skills under pressure there, and winning that one for his team, coming up big in the end. So awesome replay from you. Thank you very much for sending that one in. Don't forget, guys, if you've got yourself a good replay, then send that in to replay@screenreality.com. The link for that is in the description. Just attach the replay file or the link to the What Replay website to the email, and I can check that one out for you. And don't forget, guys, if you enjoyed this video, you found it amusing, entertaining, you learned something, then think about hitting that subscribe button, because there's a lot more World of Tanks content on this channel. I've been Maxwell, this has been World of Tanks, and I will catch you guys next time.